Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We have a really fun topic. We are going to talk about some AI features in Zoho CRM and show you how some of those work, how they can probably save you some time, nerd out on it a little bit. I think Danielle and I have been having a super fun time with AI this week. But yeah, just to kind of dive into all the new features in and around AI in Zoho CRM.
Yeah.
And there's some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited about
Really
this stuff.
nice ones. We're going to do this session today, but then we've got another one that we're going to do to show some additional features. So the next couple of ones that we do will probably be on AI and some different features that are there. And Zoho's really stepped up their game and what they're able to accomplish. And even I giggled at some of the stuff because it's so much better than it was when it first came out.
Yeah.
It's
I
cool.
remember when Zia first came out and I was like, oh, wah, wah. And now it's actually it's really helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
it can really do some stuff.
Yeah.
So it's pretty
And
cool.
what people will ask, what is Zia? And so basically it's Zoho AI, but they took the A and the I and switched it around. So they called it Zia, ZIA instead of AI. And so it was a
I wonder,
full name.
this Zoho intelligence
Artificial.
are,
Artificial.
it doesn't quite work.
It's, yeah.
It's cute.
It's cute.
And it might be worth because I think we're also inundated with hearing about AI,
Yeah.
right? Like it's so in the vernacular right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know that everybody knows what they're actually asking about with AI.
True.
You
Yeah.
probably know one of one of my favorite podcasts always explains things a little bit deeper for sort of the people that may not know the industry. So mom's not real technical, so we might just explain things a little bit for Patty. So AI, Danielle, you're the more technical of the three of us. Do you want to kind of explain what AI is besides this creepy robot being that might do stuff for us?
Well, it's AI's artificial intelligence, but it's just that it recently got released into the public domain so that normal people like us can have access to it. And people want it to do all these automatic things. They don't really know what the limitations are or what the rules of engagements are. So they think if they
How do
just
people,
plug AI in, it's just going to automatically do all these things for them. Um,
Run your business and make you a
yeah,
cup of coffee to boot.
and make
I think a lot of people conflate AI and automation and think they're the same
Yes.
thing, and they're
Yeah.
not.
true. Yeah.
Um, I think AI in that for Patty, I think AI is really great for analysis
Mhm.
and for ideating. And I think automation is you tell it when this happens, do this, then do this, then do this. That's not AI, that's automation. They're both great, but I for me, I always think of AI more as analytic and conceptual,
Right.
and automation as practical and doing. If
Well,
that
the way
helps.
you can roll that in as well is you can actually ask, ChatGPT, Go Copilot, Grok, whatever it is that you're using, and Gemini for Google, right? You could plug in, how can I automate this process, right? And
Right.
then AI
Yes,
can come back and give you some ideas on, oh, you could maybe do this, you could maybe do that. But it's not necessary. It's going to take a heavy lift to get it to actually automate for you, right? So it's not just a click a switch, it comes on. In order to get it to do things automatically, you have to program it to do things automatically. And
right.
so it's that intermediary that has the knowledge of how to get from point A to point B faster.
And
And
I
I think we all probably used to I used to talk about CRM as if we set it up right, it's your little virtual assistant,
Mhm.
right?
yeah,
And I feel like AI is taking some of that admin work, especially the feature we're going to start out with today, because for Patty, we want to start off little to show you how a little bit of AI can make your job so much easier. I think this is so much fun. Do you want me to go ahead and share my screen?
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Let's do that.
While you're doing that, I'll just quickly comment also because Daniel, listed off a bunch of different AIs. If you haven't dipped your toe in AI yet, different AI solutions are better at some things than others. So that's just something to be aware of. Like if you wanted to build a website or you wanted to write code or you wanted to ideate a book or something like that, they're all different AIs are going to be better at certain
Right.
things than
Yeah.
others, just so you're aware.
All right. We might have had a
All
little
right.
chat GPT this week. So in Zoho CRM, and I'm gonna kind of kick it off because I think it kind of makes sense, but we want to show you a couple of the features that are built in to Zia that you literally can enable. Danielle, do you want to talk about the one we're actually going to demo today?
Sure. So this one that we're going to do today is just one of the little tiny features called enrich data. And so Zia has been in here enriching data for a while now. And basically what it does is it uses open source places. So it looks on the internet at open source places, right? So LinkedIn is open source. What is the other one? Facebook. I left Facebook years ago. Sometimes I forget about it, but in various places like that. When you're putting your information in there, that's open source. Anybody can find that. Anybody can Google that. And so what Zia does is it uses all of that open source information and it enriches the data in your database. So part of the rule of engagement is you kind of need either an email address or a website or a company name. It can't just do it from scratch. But if you have a lead name and maybe a company or a lead name and an email address, it can go find things for you. And then one of the aha moments, they've made it so much better over the last couple of years. One of my aha moments was when I got it all turned on for this version of Zia that they have out. I went into companies that I already had in my database and enriched the data on them. And I was blown away by all the stuff that it brought down. So if you've used it in the past, maybe you weren't happy with it, maybe you didn't think it did enough. I mean, give it another visit because it is amazing what it does.
It really is. It really is. We'll kind of show how you set it up. So for each of the modules, you do need to make sure that you either map and or have the fields that it can go and find that data. Like Danielle said, it'll go out and kind of scrape through the internet with these resources, but these are all the fields it will go and find. I don't think I need to click on every single module. They're all pretty much the same field level, but so it'll go and find info based on company name and update it in the database. So if you saw where I went while we were explaining, I went under the setup options and then under Zia, there's data enrichment. So make sure you have the fields you need and they're mapped correctly. If you aren't comfy digging around under the hood, I know some of my clients are, call us or line up a meeting. We're here to help.
Yeah.
So once you have the fields there and mapped, do we want to just jump in and show it off? Not that I'm
Yes.
excited.
Yes,
Yeah, we're-
please.
Okay, cool. So I am going to go and create a lead. Actually, I have one already set up. I'll giggle because yes, my chat GPT has a name. So if
What is
I
mine?
go, if I go to Silas's record, he's a new lead. I had very little information, right? So up on the meatballs, the little dot, 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 I'm going to click enrich. Everything relates to food somehow. This is crazy to me that it can go out, find all this data. I can say, yes, please save me all that typing. And all of that information gets updated in the database. I didn't have to do anything. So I'm just,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to click save. Oh, the click. Do we want to look at another example?
Well,
Yeah.
I gotta have the aha moment first. So
Okay.
I'm so impressed with how much better it's gotten, how many other fields it can drag out. And again, it's all open source information. It's not digging into some super secret database. If the information's not publicly available, it can't find it.
Yeah.
Let's go do a public company.
Let's do a company. So if I go and look at, I'll actually just go ahead and search for one. So let's look at Microsoft. I just popped in the company name. Again, enrich data.
And there's nothing else in here. There's no address.
Yeah,
There's
oh, yeah,
nothing.
absolutely. I feel like the magician. Here you go. There
I
is
know.
nothing. Literally, I just put in this morning while we were preparing. I put in Microsoft,
Yep.
Enrich Data. It's a public limited company.
Oh,
Yep, that sounds about right. How many employees? That's a lot.
annual revenue. And
This is
Yeah.
cool.
Timm, what is that she's showing? What is this magic that she's showing here?
It's insane. I love that it finds the logo and brings that down. That's pretty cool. Cause that is a little tedious. Like I have some clients that really love to have like the thumbnail of the person or the logo of the company. And the fact that Enrich Data can get to that and pull it down is a
And think
huge,
about
cause
how
a
much
lot of folks
prettier
do it.
it's going to make those Canvas
Well,
list views that we're always like,
Yeah.
immediately switch because who's going to go get all the logos?
Yeah.
Well, Zia can.
Zia can, yeah.
Yeah.
So I love, love, love this.
Super cool.
Look at all this
And I like
magic.
that it highlights before you save. I like that it highlights everything that it populated in yellow, so you can double check it before you click the save button and make sure that you're comfortable with what is going in. That's pretty cool.
It grabs
And
the
just
CEO. It actually sucks the CEO of the company along with the annual revenue and the other things.
we'd be
So
remiss
now
if
I'm
we didn't do
gonna do
one
Zoho
more.
now, right? 'Cause Zoho's a privately held company, so let's see what it does with that. Because Microsoft, obviously being public, has a lot more stuff out there.
Right.
Mhm. Oh, do I want to change then? Yeah, okay. I actually happen to know being a partner at Zoho Corporation, so I'll leave that alone. Just what I'm pointing out is here's what I had in my database. Here's what it can enrich it with, but the little check marks, if you happen to know it's not quite as accurate, you can just uncheck it and not do it.
Yeah.
So it goes and
Can you
pretty.
can you go back up again to the two that were locked?
The private
Yeah.
limited. Yeah.
Found fix this. Click fix this. What is it going to do?
It doesn't
Interesting.
live in that drop
Oh,
down.
it's
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, add as a
learning
new
something all the
option.
time. That's
That's
really
That
actually
is
one of
cool.
the
pretty
new
cool.
features. That may not be rolled out to all clients yet, by the way. So I think
Okay.
that's one of the beta
Okay.
features that we have as part.
But it's coming.
Yeah, it is coming.
That's
I
really
love
cool.
that because that was tedious going into the back end. And so certain users will
Uh-huh.
have the ability to add options on the fly. So look at all of that beautiful data. Scroll down.
Super, super
Scroll.
cool. But I can't because I can't leave that it put the logo in there. I
Ah.
love that so much.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, look at
All of
that.
that. I
Goodness.
did not, and to Tim's point, that feature that he highlighted, I didn't say fix this. Industry is a drop down list. Since the option that it had there isn't in my pick list,
Mhm.
it didn't update it. So I negated that by
Got it.
saying don't fix this.
Yeah.
Where in company type, I think it was company type, it might have been a different field, sorry, but it would have updated that because I said fix it and add the drop down list.
Yeah.
This, I know, just real life use case. I have a client. Judy spends hours. I can't wait for her to get this email of the podcast. She spends hours going through form submissions where enriched data, it's a click. This is going to
Yeah.
save people so much
Hours and
time.
hours and hours. of
You'll
time.
also
Yeah.
notice when you're not in the company itself, you have to click on, or in the lead, you have to click on the dot, dot, dot. And so click on the dot, 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 please. And then that is how you get to the enriched data there. But when you're editing the company, go into edit, please. You'll notice when you're actually in edit, if it does it, I'm not crazy. Okay. It actually shows while you're in edit. So a lot of times when you're inputting a brand new lead and you have a couple of items in there, you will actually see the enriched data at the tippy top. So you don't have to save it, get out, do the dot, 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 and go back in. Typically,
Very
it'll
cool.
be enriched data. But what a lot of people don't realize is they think when they save out of it and they don't see enriched data at the top, they think it's gone. They lost their opportunity,
Right.
but it's not true. They can click on the dot, dot, dot to get it. So
Yeah.
easy peasy.
Love
I think the biggest, I don't want to say gotcha, but the biggest takeaway is before you start using enriched data, really go in and make sure that you've mapped everything
Yes.
correctly so that when it finds stuff, it's putting it in the right place. Because if you haven't done that, one little thing could mess up some stuff. But once that's set up, you're set to rock and roll. And then it's
Mhm.
like a click and you're updating all this information in the correct place, in the correct
Mhm.
way.
One little
Exciting.
way that yeah, it's very exciting. And this is a tip of the iceberg kind of thing. We wanted to show it,
Yeah.
you know, in a way that something that's useful that most people can wrap their head around. And then in upcoming sessions, we're going to get into some pretty cool, deep AI stuff that we can enable in Zoho's Zia.
Absolutely
Anything
cool.
else?
No, I
I,
think we have enough
This is a
magic.
good one.
It's enough magic for today.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy enriching data, everyone.
Happy enriching data. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.